In a small provincial town, where every word spoken seemed to resonate like an echo among the houses, lived Sarah, a young literature teacher. She was a reserved woman, with the secret dream of writing a novel that spoke of freedom. But behind that gentle smile, there was a wound, years of stifled questions and desires silenced for fear of being judged. One day, while browsing through books in a small bookstore, Sarah met Elena. Elena was everything Sarah was not: bold, rebellious, with short hair and a tattoo that emerged from her wrist. She ran the bookstore with passion, organizing readings and debates on topics that were considered taboo in the village. "Are you looking for something in particular?" Elena asked, with an intriguing smile. Sarah, surprised by that confident voice, answered hesitantly, "Something that inspires me, that makes me feel less alone." Elena handed her a book and said, "Read this. It will make you understand that you are not alone." From that day on, their lives began to intertwine. Sarah began to frequent the bookstore more and more often, attracted not only by the books but also by Elena's magnetic personality. They spent hours talking about literature, dreams, and better worlds. Sarah finally felt understood, but there was a fear she couldn't shake. One evening, after a long conversation, Elena took her hand and said, "You know, you don't have to be afraid to be yourself. Not here, not with me." Those words made Sarah's defenses crumble, and for the first time she confessed, "I don't know what to do. I've always lived trying to please others, not to disappoint expectations. But with you, I just want to be myself." The following weeks were a whirlwind of emotions. Sarah and Elena fell in love, but their love did not go unnoticed. In a country where everything is observed and commented on, rumors began to circulate. "The teacher and the bookseller, have you seen them? It's indecent." The judging glances and whispers became unbearable. Sarah, who had always lived in the shadows, found herself at the center of a storm. One day, the school principal called her in. "Sarah, maybe it would be best to keep a low profile. The students, the parents, not everyone understands certain things." Sarah returned home in tears, feeling crushed by the weight of other people's expectations. Elena, however, was not willing to let their love be stifled. "Sarah, we must not be ashamed of who we are. Let them be ashamed of their prejudice. If we run away, they will have won." But Sarah wasn't ready to fight yet. One night, without saying anything, she packed her bags and left a note for Elena. "I'm sorry. I'm not as strong as you. I have to go." Elena was devastated, but she didn't give up. She knew Sarah well enough to know where she could find her. She took the first train to the next town, where Sarah had taken refuge at an old friend's house. When she found her, she didn't say anything. She looked into her eyes, took her favorite book from her bag, and opened it to a page where she had written, "Being ourselves is the greatest act of courage. And courage is never faced alone." Sarah's tears began to flow. "I was scared," she confessed. Elena hugged her, whispering, "I'm scared too, but I'm more scared of losing you." From that moment, they decided to face everything together. They returned to the village, hand in hand, ready to no longer hide. They organized events in the library, spoke openly about their love and the difficulties they had faced. Slowly, the village began to change. Not everyone accepted, but many began to see Sarah and Elena not as different, but as two brave, loving, and happy women. The most surprising moment came a few days later. Sarah received a letter from the school principal. With shaking hands, she read it aloud to Elena. "Dear Sarah, I apologize for the words I said to you. Teaching is not only educating young people, but also learning from them. And from you I learned the value of sincerity. I hope you will return to teaching, with your heart full of stories and your strength that inspires." In the years that followed, Sarah published her first novel, inspired by their story, and Elena transformed the bookstore into a point of reference for those seeking a safe space to express themselves. Together, they proved that love, when authentic, can withstand anything. This story teaches us that love has no color, no age, no boundaries. It is a universal force that unites us, if only we have the courage to welcome it. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. And if you have a story to tell, one that deserves to be heard, write it in the comments. We will bring your story to life, made of emotions, challenges and victories. This is a community open to everyone, regardless of their sexual orientation or experiences. Because love is for everyone, and every heart has a story worth telling.